Hello and welcome back to the Joyful Soul Creates. Charlotte here, and today I'm going to be finally sharing my 10 cards 1 kit video with the Love From Lizi October card kit. And these are all kind of home inspired cards because that was the theme of this kit. So I'm going to jump right into my first card, and I'm using some of the pieces of ephemera. I thought the doily made a nice cluster, I guess you would call it, with the tree and yellow house. So I assembled that, popping up the house on some foam tape. I've also cut some panels of the pattern paper to complete my card. So I have a large green rectangle, and then I have 2 narrow strips which I've cut into banners using the yellow and the grey polka dot paper. And to help them stand out from that grey card base that I'm going to be using, I'm edging all of them with Versafine Onyx black ink. And I did use a black pencil to get into the corner of the banners because my ink pad couldn't quite reach in there. I'll then use Tombow monomalte liquid glue to adhere the papers down, and I will use my reverse tweezers as well because this is very helpful for holding on to things. And I do like to place an acrylic block on top when I'm letting things dry. It just holds everything in place as they're drying. And then I'll use the liquid glue again to adhere the cluster of ephemera into place, and I finished off with one of the stickers that came on the sticker sheet and just tucked it in behind the tree, and that completes my first card. I'm going to be doing some stamping for my second card, which is more of a masculine design. Again, I'm using a grey card base, and I'm stamping the Candystripe background stamp onto the lower portion of the card, and I used Catherine Paula Midnight ink for this. At first I used Twilight, which is a grey, but I decided I liked the black more. I'm also going to stamp the chair from the Home Sweet Home stamp set 3 times onto some of the pattern paper. So I used the peachy pinky colour, the golden yellow and the minty green. And then I'm going to add shading to each of the chairs. I just used greys for all my shading because then I could use the same 2 markers for all 3 of them rather than trying to match my marker colours to the pattern paper, but you could do that as well if you prefer. And I will just quickly show you on the first one how I did the colouring, but you don't need to see all 3 of them because they're all done the same way. I'm using Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers, and you can see the caps for the ones I used on screen. I also used brown to colour in the legs of the chairs, and then once all my colouring was done, I fussy cut the chairs out. And I did have a little helper when I was doing this. And again, I won't show fussy cutting all 3 of them because it's exactly the same process. There we go. I like to use a water-based marker, a black brush tip marker, to edge around my fussy cut pieces because that hides the white core of the paper and makes it look a bit more finished. Speaking of making it look more finished, I decided to add a black glitter peel off along the top of my stamped area on my card base just to make that look a bit more finished as well. And then I glued my 3 chairs into place and again finished off with a sentiment sticker from the sticker sheet. And I think this might be my favourite of the cards I made with this kit. Moving on to card number 3. This time I'm going to be doing some watercolouring with the Row of Houses stamp from the Home Sweet Home stamp set. And I pulled in the watercolour palette that came in the September card kit. I didn't actually manage to create with the September card kit, so this was the first opportunity I had to play with these watercolours. I'm not great at watercolouring, but I just did it kind of very simply and built up the colour. I probably could have done more layers actually because it ended up being quite pale when it dried back, which watercolours do tend to dry back paler, so I probably should have added more layers than I did. I did clear heat emboss the stamps before painting, so by clear heat embossing them, the watercolour will stay in the sections rather than running together, which is very helpful and does speed up the process a bit because it doesn't matter if I paint 2 areas that are right next to each other because the barrier of the heat embossing will help keep those areas separate. I did try to add some slight variation between the colours of each house and each roof. They are all kind of yellowish houses and purpley red roofs, but I used different combinations of colours to differentiate them a little bit. So the house on the left hand side is a bit more orange, the one in the middle is a bit more green. Not hugely different, but a slight difference. Initially I was using the sap green to paint in the windows because I didn't have a blue. Normally I would use a light blue for glass, but I thought the sap green would work well. I did later change this though because I use purple for the sky, and I thought that if the sky was purple then it would make sense for the windows to have a purplish shade. So I will go back over that later. To start painting the sky, I laid a lot of water down because I wanted it to be quite soft and create a gradient. And then I'm just dropping in the violet colour. I'm dropping it in closest to the houses and then I'm letting it fade out towards the top of the panel. And I'm actually holding the panel upright to try and let gravity assist the paint in moving. I actually really like how this gradient turned out, though again, as with the painting on the houses, I probably could have given another layer or two to make it a bit more intense. I did, rather than letting it dry naturally, because I was trying to go quite fast and this was already taking quite a long time. I did dry the watercolouring with my Wow Dual Speed heat tool. Speed 1 is perfect for drying painting. It's a lower speed, so it doesn't remelt the embossing powder. Speaking of embossing, I embossed my sentiment onto some vellum. Again, this sentiment's from the same stamp set, and I used the embossing powder from the September kit, which was, I believe, called Perfectly Plum. And then I just fussy cut around that. I've cut out some of the grey pattern paper. I made a mat for the watercolour panel. I gutted away the centre and then I used some of the gutted away piece to create a strip behind my focal panel, just to add a bit more interest to the card. You may have noticed earlier that initially I was thinking of using a black card base, but I actually decided to swap it to the yellow. I adhered my sentiment overlapping my focal panel, which I then popped up on foam tape to give a little bit of added dimension to the card. And that will complete card number 3. So having taken quite a long time on card number 3, I thought I would like something nice and quick for my next card, and I decided I would use the leafy border stamp, which is almost the entire length of the card base. So this is an A2 sized card base, and I'm going to ink this up 3 times with Altenew's Forest Glades ink, but for the middle one I'm actually flipping the card base around so the leaves will be pointing the other way. On the first and the third stampings the leaves are pointing up, but on the second one they're pointing down, and I just thought this added a bit of extra interest. And once I had all of those stamped, I brought in my sentiment, which says "It's been too long," and I'm going to stamp this in a slightly darker shade of green, which is Evergreen. And I'll have it very slightly overlapping those vines, and that completes card number 4. A very easy 1-layer design. Card number 5 is also a 1-layer design, but I did do some colouring on this one. So I stamped the telephone, and I'm colouring again with my Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers, and again you can see the caps on screen as to the colours I'm using. And I started with some pink for the main body of the phone and also certain parts of the handset. I then used some greens for the details, so there are some leaves on the body of the phone and also the circular area where the numbers are. I can't think what that's called. So I coloured those green, and then for all the other elements I used grey. And as I often do with my colouring, I'm doing the shading as if the light is coming from the right hand side. I did leave the stamp in place, so once I was finished colouring I stamped over it and added my sentiment using Versafine Onyx Black ink. I then took the circle die from the Background Builder Set 1 die set and embossed that around the phone to give a bit more interest, and that completed card number 5. I was still going clean and simple when I moved on to card number 6, and I decided to use a black card base and the little light stamp. So I stamped it with Squeeze Lemonade ink onto the card base, masked off around it, and then ink blended more Squeeze Lemonade to create the look of light coming from the lampshade. I then stamped the light again onto some pattern paper, and I'm going to colour it much the same way as I did with the chairs earlier, but this time I'm actually using yellows for the shading rather than grey. I stamped the light back into place over the ink blending because I wanted the pulleys to show up, and obviously as they're just very narrow strings, I couldn't really fussy cut them out, so stamping it back over meant that they are already there on the card base. I then fussy cut out my lamp, and I actually found it was easiest to cut it into two parts so that the leg of the lamp is separate from the shade. And again, I'm going to go around that with my black brush tip marker. I'll then use some of my Tombow glue on each of the paper elements to adhere those into place. And I finished off the card by white heat embossing a sentiment just below the light. So that was card number 6. For card number 7, I decided to create an offset wreath with some of the little leafy flourishy stamps from the stamp set. So I used a circle die as a guideline when I placed my initial stamps, and then I just kind of filled in with all of the other ones. I don't have any tiny acrylic blocks, so I actually use clear lids when I want to use tiny stamps, and I find that works really well, so that's a good tip if you, like me, don't have a lot of acrylic blocks. Once I'd finished all the stamping, I added golden crown embossing powder and heat set that with my heat gun, and then I chose this ephemera to be my sentiment, and it says hello. I thought it fit the colour schemes well because it has that blue and tan, which you can think of as a kind of pale gold colour. And I did just pop that up, and that finished off the card, which is another very simple one. I got a bit more involved with the next one, a few more layers this time. So for card number 8, I started with one of the craft tags from the kit. I'm again using the Candystripe background stamp, and I'm inking onto the tag with some Barely Beige ink. So this is going to give a tone-on-tone stripe to the tag, and I really like the way this turned out. Actually, I like everything that I stamped with this background stamp. I would definitely recommend it. I think I'm going to be using it a lot. I cut a panel of the red dotted pattern paper to go behind my tag, and I'm going to pop the tag up on that with foam tape. So I have dots and stripes on this card, and I did use my reverse tweezers to help me with that. I think I got it slightly wonky in the end, but it's not too obvious. I'm going to use more foam tape for popping up the floral arrangement, which is one of the pieces of ephemera. And then I again have a sticker for my sentiment which says I love us, and I'll just tuck that in behind the floral piece. This time I'm using a dark blue card base, and I think the darker flowers kind of pull that colour in more. So I use my liquid glue again and adhere the panel towards the bottom right of the card. So even though this is more layered, because the arrangement is quite confined, it's still quite clean. I didn't really like the way the hole looked at the top of the tag, so I was trying to work out what I could do about that, and I decided to bring in a couple of the hearts from the ephemera pack and adhere one of those over the hole and the other one just offset below it. And that way the hole was completely hidden, so I didn't have to be annoyed by it anymore. And that completes card number 8, which is another one of my favourite cards from this kit. For card number 9, I did some die cutting with a cat scrappiness die and 4 of the different pattern papers. I wasn't sure which ones I wanted to use at this stage, so I spent a little time playing around with it. I picked out 2 of the ephemera lights. I knew I wanted to use those, and I thought it would be fun to have them on the opposite coloured panels. So the minty one on the grey panel and the grey one on the minty panel. And whilst I did like that, it took me a while to work out what I wanted to do for the other pieces, like the third panel and the frame. In the end, I decided to go for 2 mint and 1 grey panel. And I was thinking the pink panel, but I actually decided to use the yellow instead, and I think that looks much better. So once I was happy with that, I flipped the panel over and set the inserts back into place and used some washi tape to hold them down in the right positions. And these are just leftover scraps of washi tape. I use washi tape for holding dies and all sorts of things, and when I finish with them I stick them to the edge of my cupboard so I can use them in future again if I want. I used the Sending Love and Light sentiment and stamped it into the leftmost window, and then I'm going to adhere each of the lights, the lamps, into place, and then I will adhere the panel down to my card base, and again I'm using the Tombow glue. And as always, you can find all the products I have used for this video in the description box below. This card kit is sold out, but the stamp set is still available, and also I believe the background stamp I used a lot is also available as well. So everything that is available I will link to below, and you can also find the links to subscribe to the kits if you want. But anyway, that completed card number 9, and I'm going to move on to card number 10. And once again using that Candystripe background stamp. This time I inked it up with Catherine Pooler's Tiara ink, and I'm stamping it onto the yellow card base, again going for a tone-on-tone design. And I'm covering the entire card base this time. And I have some of the leftover panels from the frames I cut for the last card. I decided to use a pink one, a grey one, and a minty green one. And I also found some hearts from the ephemera which were coordinating colours. So I decided I'd use those as well and just alternate which panels they were on. I spent quite a long time trying to work out exactly how I wanted this layout to go. I knew I wanted those 3 panels, I knew I wanted those 3 hearts, but I didn't know how I wanted them positioned or what else I wanted to do with them. I did eventually work out what I wanted to do. That included bringing in a sentiment from the ephemera, so it says happy together. Having decided exactly what I was going to do, I adhered each of the hearts to their panels, making sure that they would be more or less aligned with each other once I had them added to the card base. I then adhered those panels to my card base after making sure that they were properly lined up, because I want those hearts to be in a line, which again took a little bit of fiddling. But once I was happy with the positions, I picked the middle one back up and adhered that down first, again using my Tombow glue, and then I will adhere the 2 outside ones as well. I did consider popping up the sentiment ephemera, but I decided actually to just adhere it down flat. I felt like there's already a fair bit going on with this card, so it doesn't necessarily need the added dimension of foam tape, especially with the sentiment overlapping the other elements. It does give the illusion of dimension. So once I had those adhered into place, that completed card 10 and my final card of the kit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I did have a lot of fun playing with this kit. I just wish I'd managed to get this video finished sooner, because I'd actually had this made whilst it was still October. I just never got around to finishing it. I will be back soon with my November kit, hopefully this coming week. Do let me know in the comments below which of the cards was your favourite. I always love to find that out. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can subscribe by clicking my logo that's showing on screen now, and there are also a couple of other videos that you may be interested in. Otherwise, I'll thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!